In this part of Company Act updates we will discuss Companies. Auditor's Report. Order. 2016. Notification dated March 29, 2016. Let's take a view on detail notification. In exercise of the powers conferred by subsection 11 of Section 143 of the Companies Act, 2013, 18 of 2013, and in supersession of the Companies Auditor's Report, Order, 2015 published in the Gazette of India, Extraordinary, Part 2, Section 3, Subsection II, Vide number SO990, E, dated the April 10, 2015, except as respects things done or omitted to be done before such supersession, the central government, after consultation with the committee constituted under proviso to subsection 11 of Section 143 of the Companies Act, 2013 hereby makes the following order, namely, (1) Short title, Application and Commencement. 1. This order may be called the Companies Auditor's Report, Order, 2016. 2. It shall apply to every company including a foreign company as defined in Clause 42 of Section 2 of the Companies Act, 2013, 18 of 2013, hereinafter referred to as the Companies Act, except I. A banking company as defined in Clause C of Section 5 of the Banking Regulation Act, 1949, 10 of 1949, II. An insurance company as defined under the Insurance Act, 1938, 4 of 1938, 3. A company licensed to operate under Section 8 of the Companies Act. A one-person company as defined under Clause 62 of Section 2 of the Companies Act and a small company as defined under Clause 85 of Section 2 of the Companies Act, n.v. A private limited company, not being a subsidiary or holding company of a public company, having a paid-up capital and reserves and surplus not more than Rs 1 crore as on the balance sheet date and which does not have total borrowings exceeding Rs 1 crore from any bank or financial institution at any point of time during the financial year and which does not have a total revenue as disclosed in Schedule 3 to the Companies Act, 2013, including revenue from discontinuing operations, exceeding Rs 10 crore during the financial year as per the financial statements. 2. Auditor's report to contain matters specified in paragraphs 3 and 4. Every report made by the auditor under Section 143 of the Companies Act, 2013 on the accounts of every company audited by him, to which this order applies, for the financial years commencing on or after April 1, 2015, shall in addition contain the matters specified in paragraphs 3 and 4, as may be applicable, provided the order shall not apply to the auditor's report on consolidated financial statements. (3) Matters to be included in the auditor's report. The auditor's report on the accounts of a company to which this order applies shall include a statement on the following matters, namely, whether the company is maintaining proper records showing full particulars, including quantitative details and situation of fixed assets. B. whether these fixed assets have been physically verified by the management at reasonable intervals, whether any material discrepancies were noticed on such verification, and if so, whether the same have been properly dealt with in the books of account. C. Whether the title deeds of immovable properties are held in the name of the company. If not, provide the details thereof. II. Whether physical verification of inventory has been conducted at reasonable intervals by the management, and whether any material discrepancies were noticed, and if so, whether they have been properly dealt with in the books of account. 3. Whether the company has granted any loans, secured or unsecured, to companies, firms, limited liability partnerships, or other parties covered in the register maintained under Section 189 of the Companies Act, 2013. If so, whether the terms and conditions of the grant of such loans are not prejudicial to the company's interest. B. Whether the schedule of repayment of principal and payment of interest has been stipulated, and whether the repayments or receipts are regular. C. If the amount is overdue, state the total amount overdue for more than 90 days, and whether reasonable steps have been taken by the company for recovery of the principal and interest. In respect of loans, investments, guarantees, and security, whether provisions of Section 185 and 186 of the Companies Act, 2013 have been complied with. If not, provide the details thereof. V. In case the company has accepted deposits, whether the directives issued by the Reserve Bank of India and the provisions of Sections 73 to 76 or any other relevant provisions of the Companies Act, 2013 and the rules framed thereunder, where applicable, have been complied with. If not, the nature of such contraventions be stated. If an order has been passed by Company Law Board or National Company Law Tribunal or Reserve Bank of India or any court or any other tribunal, whether the same has been complied with or not. V. Whether maintenance of cost records has been specified by the central government under subsection 1 of Section 148 of the Companies Act, 2013, and whether such accounts and records have been so made and maintained. Vi. Whether the company is regular in depositing undisputed statutory dues including Provident Fund, employee state insurance, income tax, sales tax, service tax, duty of customs, duty of excise, value-added tax, cess, and any other statutory dues to the appropriate authorities, and if not, the extent of the arrears of outstanding statutory dues as on the last day of the financial year concerned for a period of more than 6 months from the date they became payable, shall be indicated. B. Where dues of income tax or sales tax or service tax or duty of customs or duty of excise or value-added tax have not been deposited on account of any dispute, then the amounts involved and the forum where dispute is pending shall be mentioned. A mere representation to the concerned department shall not be treated as a dispute. Vi. Whether the company has defaulted in repayment of loans or borrowing to a financial institution, bank, government, or dues to debenture holders? If yes, the period and the amount of default to be reported. In case of defaults to banks, financial institutions, and government, lender-wise details to be provided. X. Whether monies raised by way of initial public offer or further public offer, including debt instruments and term loans, were applied for the purposes for which those are raised. If not, the details together with delays or default and subsequent rectification, if any, as may be applicable, be reported. X. Whether any fraud by the company or any fraud on the company by its officers or employees has been noticed or reported during the year. If yes, the nature and the amount involved is to be indicated. Psi. Whether managerial remuneration has been paid or provided in accordance with the requisite approvals mandated by the provisions of Section 197 read with Schedule B to the Companies Act? If not, state the amount involved and steps taken by the company for securing refund of the same. Xi. Whether the NITI company has complied with the net own funds to deposits in the ratio of 1:20 to meet out the liability, and whether the NITI company is maintaining 10% unencumbered term deposits as specified in the NITI rules 2014 to meet out the liability. Xi. Whether all transactions with the related parties are in compliance with Sections 177 and 188 of Companies Act 2013 where applicable, and the details have been disclosed in the financial statements etc., as required by the applicable accounting standards. Zip. Whether the company has made any preferential allotment or private placement of shares or fully or partly convertible debentures during the year under review, and if so, as to whether the requirement of Section 42 of the Companies Act 2013 have been complied with and the amount raised have been used for the purposes for which the funds were raised. If not, provide the details in respect of the amount involved and nature of non-compliance. XV. Whether the company has entered into any non-cash transactions with directors or persons connected with him, and if so, whether the provisions of Section 192 of Companies Act 2013 have been complied with. Sp. Whether the company is required to be registered under Section 45IA of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, and if so, whether the registration has been obtained. Four. Reasons to be stated for unfavorable or qualified answers. 1. Where, in the auditor's report, the answer to any of the questions referred to in paragraph 3 is unfavorable or qualified, the auditor's report shall also state the basis for such unfavorable or qualified answer, as the case may be. 2. Where the auditor is unable to express any opinion on any specified matter, his report shall indicate such fact together with the reasons as to why it is not possible for him to give his opinion on the same. Your feedback is important for us. Write us at tldcdelhi@gmail.com or call us at 0999988235. Never miss a chance to view new videos. Subscribe our channel and like our videos.